evening. You may be seated. On behalf of Watauga High School and Innovation Academy, its staff and other folks, the Watauga County school staff, and the Watauga County Board of Education, we would like to welcome you to the commencement exercises for the senior class of 2025. Seniors, parents, guardians, family members, faculty, and friends, what a special evening together here gathered at the Holmes Convocation Center for the celebration of the senior class. Thank you to the Appalachian State staff for allowing us to be here, and a special thank you to our Miss Donna Welburn, Mrs. Jennifer Wandler, and Miss Sierra Lee, along with all other lead organizers for your work behind and before this commencement ceremony in order to make tonight's celebration to happen. Seniors, you have arrived at today through many days of hard work, determination, and a will to succeed. Ralph Waldo Emerson shared that what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. As you are simultaneously looking at all you have already accomplished, while at the same time getting excited about all that you will achieve, remember to enjoy this moment in time that you have earned. Please remember in the coming days to thank your parents, family, educators, and the many who helped you along the way. Parents and families, I know you are proud of your students' accomplishments, and congratulations to all of you for the work you have done for these students in order for them to be here today. Seniors and families, please take a moment this weekend to remember the times you have enjoyed in school, the teachers who made big impacts, the friends who brought smiles and laughs, and the family members who poured into each and every one of you to make you the person you have become today. You are about to embark on a new journey, joining the workforce, enlisting in a branch of the armed services, or beginning coursework at a college or university. Whatever your next journey is, please know that your education at Watauga High School and Innovation Academy has prepared you for success. In closing, we love you and wish you the best on your next journey, and please remember that once a pioneer, always a pioneer. At this time, I ask those who are able to stand so we can present the colors and our United States flag.
Please be seated. It's my privilege to recognize the class of 2025 this evening. Before I do that, I have some welcomes and introductions I'd like to do. So let me just say good evening to all of our seniors here this evening and to their families and their support groups, and also to all of our teachers and staffs from all of our schools in the county, and anyone else who has come here to support these graduating students. It's my privilege to bring you greetings from the Watauga County Board of Education and to extend the board's heartfelt congratulations to the Watauga High Class of 2025 and their families. At this time, I would like to recognize, or introduce, actually, the current members of the Board of Education. Let me ask each member, when I call their name, to stand and recognize them and remain standing. And then I will also ask everyone in the audience to hold your applause until we've introduced all the members, and then we can show our appreciation to them. So let me begin by asking Ms. Allison Idle, our Vice Chair, to stand. Dr. Jay Fenwick is a member of the board, but he cannot be here this evening, unfortunately. He's currently the longest serving member of the Board of Education. Ms. Charlotte Moselle Lloyd, Mr. Adam Hagee, and also want to introduce and recognize our senior student representative to the Board of Education, Ms. Mia Gibra. Mia, would you stand? Thank you. I'd like to thank them all for their leadership, dedication, and responsible decision-making throughout this year. Thank you, folks. Board of Education would like to thank our graduates, families, and their schools, teachers, and staff for supporting these young people throughout their years in Watauga County Schools. Additionally, the Board of Education is grateful for the school system's support services, like their buses and cafeterias and maintenance and all those things that keep the schools operating, making them safe, good places for our young people, and also the central administrative team for their commitment to these seniors. We're grateful for the work all of you have done to help them become high school graduates, especially during the challenging times we went through during the pandemic, the recovery efforts following the pandemic, and then Hurricane Helene this year. The board is deeply grateful to all of you for the part you played in helping these soon-to-be graduates achieve this milestone in their lives. Now, a word of recognition to our senior class. I want to take some time to brag on you. Your class has what I believe to be a unique distinction that will remain in your memories and all of us who are here with you forever. You are the first Watauga High School graduating class that has gone through two major catastrophic life-altering events during your journey through school. I'm sure you will hear both those events mentioned more than once this evening. If my memory is correct, and I was corrected by one of your classmates as we walked up today, thank you, Ms. Hood. You guys were in the 7th grade when the pandemic hit and 8th grade. That's adolescence. Can you imagine having to navigate the physical and social challenges of late adolescence, plus transition to the high school, while doing your studies through remote instruction and not being able to interact in person with any of your peers or teachers? Then on top of that, you missed almost a month of your senior year due to a hurricane. That's what these students did during two of the most important phases of their young lives, and they came through it admirably. Seniors, it is a testimony to your strength, perseverance, adaptability, courage, determination, resilience, and support for each other that you've made it to graduation under, at times, extremely challenging situations. So much congratulations to all of you. Now, class of 25, I wasn't sure if to include this, but I'm going to take a chance and include it. I wanted to say 10 years from now, you won't remember much, if anything, from what I'm sharing with you this evening. The reason I can say that because this weekend will mark my high school graduating class's 60th reunion. And believe me, I don't remember a whole lot about what went on where you're sitting 60 years ago. And if you're lucky enough to make it this far, you won't remember a lot of the details about this evening. But you will remember being with your friends tonight. And you'll probably remember the events of the past few days and sharing this time of transition out of the high school. I just encourage you to take a moment to look at the classmates around you with whom you shared this journey, and be proud of how you supported each other as you dealt with these challenges that I mentioned earlier. But perhaps more importantly, remember and cherish your friends and the fun you've had together and the successes you've experienced together and the good times you shared with each other during your journey from kindergarten through this year and this moment. The Watauga County Board of Education extends its heartfelt congratulations to this class, the class of 2025, and we want you to know that your community is proud of you. We're confident you will do well, and we wish each of you much happiness and success in life. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Pioneers, and good evening to our graduates, parents, educators, board members, and community members. We are honored to have each of you here to celebrate this joyous milestone. To those of you joining us in person and those watching online, thank you for being part of this special moment. A heartfelt thanks goes to parents, grandparents, guardians, and families who have supported these graduates every step of the way. Thank you to our community members, our faith leaders, coaches, friends, and neighbors. Your love and encouragement help make tonight possible. Before we continue tonight's celebration, I want to take a moment to reflect. This year, we experienced a deep loss of one of our own, a Watauga High School student, Holly Ward. In the face of sorrow, our school and community came together with support and compassion. I want to thank you all for the strength and care that you've shown during these difficult times. Graduates, today marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. It's a day that you will carry with you forever. You've worked incredibly hard, and we're so proud of you. But none of us gets here alone. I want to extend a special thanks to the teachers and staff of Watauga High School, Watauga Innovation Academy, and all our K-8 schools who laid the foundation of your success. Their dedication, belief in you, and tireless efforts have shaped the incredible individuals that you are today. Graduates and families, please join me in thanking these outstanding educators and staff. The class of 2025 has already achieved remarkable things. 219 students out of our 362 graduates earned a total of 3,956 college credits during their high school career. Additionally, 255 students participated in 541 AP courses, totaling a minimum of an additional 1,063 hours of college-level coursework. In addition, I want to congratulate the 37 graduates who have earned a community college certificate and 3 of you who will receive your high school diploma and an associate's degree. This graduating class is indeed successful. And together, this class has earned an outstanding $6,700,000 in scholarships. What an incredible achievement. We'd also like to recognize those who have chosen a path of service. If you're a member of the class of 2025 and plan to join the military or participate in ROTC, please stand. Thank you, graduates, for your commitment to your country. Graduates, you are a class unlike any other. You've endured a pandemic, you've withstood a hurricane, and still achieved great heights. You've shown resilience, adaptability, and strength beyond your years. These qualities, this grit, will carry you far wherever life takes you next. Whether you find yourself in college, the military, or the workforce, whether you're in Watauga County, somewhere else or in our beautiful state, or beyond, take this grit and perseverance with you. Let it fuel your journey, lift others, and help you to continue to achieve great things. We love you, and we're proud of you, and we can't wait to see what you do next. Congratulations, class of 2025. You're truly amazing.
those, sorry guys. Okay, so for those of you that, one more time. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Margaret, and many would say it's a wonder that I'm up here today. I'd like to give a sincere thank you to Mr. Combs and Miss Nixon, who taught me the value of promptness, eventually. To my family, thank you for bearing with me through all the car bumps and crazy busy schedules. I'm grateful for the 10 wake-up calls in the morning from my dad at work. I couldn't have made it without my personal life coach and guidance counselor, Commissioner Emily Green. I'm grateful to have y'all to push me to be the best version of myself. To Dr. Strickler, who is a source of joy for many, I would like to thank you for being invested in each student's life. To Mrs. Tarnowski, thank you for teaching me so many life skills, both inside and outside of DECA. I will forever miss having you a few classrooms away at all times. And to the one that makes graduation possible, Ms. Welburn, thank you for your investment in each student's life, and it really has been a pleasure to be your assistant. I want to thank all the incredible teachers, staff, and administrators of Watauga County, and especially for me, Grace Academy. You have worked tirelessly to get us to this moment, standing here in a room full of over 300 18-year-olds with lots of dreams. Most of y'all were born in 2007. I don't know if you all know this, but the iPhone was also invented in 2007. So this means that our whole life has been documented on the iPhone. So to stay on brand, one quick second. Just double checking. Okay. Each photo we take is a different memory, a different moment. Thank you for all the memories and laughter throughout these last 4 years. One of my favorite parts of being up here is getting to see each of y'all's faces I've interacted with throughout my years of high school and remembering the memories we've shared together. From being beside y'all in the student section to volunteering aside y'all this October, mudding out and tearing down drywall, I will never forget all the memories. I have realized my older sister was right all along. High school is definitely not like High School Musical, but nevertheless, go Wildcats. Actually, JK. Once a pioneer, always a pioneer. Not done. Before we set off on our next part of our lives, I want to leave you with a few questions to think about. Are the successes we have in life pure luck, chance, or coincidences? Are the dreams we have dreamed up since childhood only possible if we are lucky enough? As kids, we are always told to dream big, but not as often are we told to work hard. We grow up watching Princess and the Frog and Cinderella, where dreams come true with a wave of a wand, a wish upon a star, or a rub of a magical lamp. But let's keep it real. Real dreams take more than magic. They take effort, time, perseverance. There's more behind a dream than meets the eye. Dreams need direction. They need structure. In marketing class with Mrs. Tarnowski, we were taught SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. In other words, if you want your dreams to come true, you need a clear path to get there. I get it. Looking at the future is hard. Mapping out a route to achieve your dreams feels pretty overwhelming. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be a burden we carry alone. I believe we have already been given the ultimate playbook, the Bible. God has a plan for each of us. If you choose to follow him, his guidance offers you the clearest path to fulfilling our purpose. So I ask you the question, Where do you put your faith? I choose to put my faith in Jesus Christ. So, achieving our dreams isn't magic, it's acting on faith. God places opportunities and choices in front of us, and it's up to us to take action. Now, it won't always be easy. Sometimes on the way to our dreams, it feels like we're encountering some nightmares, but we push through, we overcome. Life's a climb, but the view is great. Perfection isn't always possible, but excellence is always worth achieving for. Often, Coach Jerry Moore words echo in my mind. Always do more than what's expected. So class of 2025, dream big, but don't just stop at the dream. Do big. Work hard, pray harder, and never forget what looks like magic often starts with a step of faith. Congratulations, and thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Gigi Waugh, and I'm honored to be here. Throughout high school, we've learned many lessons, but some of them haven't quite sunk in. You'd think after a few years of driving, I'd learned to leave my house on time, but I haven't. So, each morning, mid-rush, I stop long enough to get my keys, and on a digital frame, I catch a glimpse of my family's Yellowstone rafting trip. We are sliding into a deep pocket of white water, a mix of fear and excitement on our faces, and seeing that photo brings a wave of emotion. The anticipation, the thrill, and how no one knew what was coming next. Reflecting on this trip, I began to think about the waves, the highs and the lows, and how one moment you're at the top of an exciting wave of positive energy, then life changes, and you find yourself falling into a trench of uncertainty. Yet another transition pushes us out of the waves and into calm waters. In the midst of this movement, we see the importance of having something solid underneath, a baseline, if you will, something that grounds you and a place to return to when the current is too strong. This baseline is personal, the core of who you are, and each of us can identify our baseline by asking ourselves, what is guiding me? What gives me stability? And who is with me? High school, in some ways, resembles whitewater rafting. First, not knowing how to paddle, steer, or even get to the swimming pool on the 4th floor, we relied on each other, our friends, family, and teachers, to navigate the river, steering through challenges, trying to trust the journey, and celebrating when the waters were smooth. Now, we stand on the precipice of a new river, the vast unknown unfolding before us. There will be rapids, there will be challenges, but when the current pulls us in directions we never expected, remember your baseline, your anchors and guides, many of whom are here tonight. And while the river ahead will test, inspire, and shape us, we have what we need to navigate. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Maddie Hood, and I've been honored to serve as your senior class president this year. Seniors, I know I'm not the first person to say this today, but I can't believe we finally made it. Teachers, staff, family, and friends, thank you. You've supported us through every late night panic, every early morning meeting or workout, and every time we said, "Don't worry, I'll just do it tomorrow." We wouldn't be here without you. Like most things I've submitted this year, I wrote the speech the day before it was due. Not because I was procrastinating, although maybe a little bit, but mainly because I couldn't find the right words to express this moment. I wanted to say something meaningful about the last 4 years, while also hopeful about the future that awaits us, but it all started sounding repetitive and honestly slightly boring. So I asked a few people around me what they would say if they were up here tonight, standing in front of all of you. And their response? That's tough, good luck with that. Thanks, guys, I really appreciate it. But honestly, they weren't wrong. A moment like this is nearly impossible to sum up through a few words, through my short speech to you. We've all taken different paths, through endless assignments, sports events, packed schedules, and lives outside of school that most people don't see. And somehow, we all ended up here together. And I think that's worth pausing for. Because so often, we rush through life. We're always chasing the next thing, the next test, the next plan, the next big step, forgetting to take a breath. But today shouldn't be about what's next. Today should be about this. This moment where we all sit together as a class for the last time, honoring everything we've been through and the person we've become along the way. So relax, take a breath, look to those around you, and let this moment sink in. You don't need to focus on having it all figured out right now. You just need to be here, existing in this moment, proud of everything you've accomplished. To quote one of my favorite artists, Phoebe Bridgers once said, "She knows she lived through it to get to this moment." Her words capture today perfectly. We have all lived through so much, every challenge and every change, to make it here tonight. And you should be so incredibly proud of everything you've accomplished and the incredible person you've become. Pretty soon, we'll all be in different places, routines, and maybe even time zones. but we'll always have this surreal, wonderful moment with us where we're all dressed the exact same and pretending not to cry in front of our parents. It won't last, but that's what makes it special. So take a breath and soak it all in. We finally made it. Thank you and congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Hatherley Arbfield, and it has been the greatest privilege to serve as your student body president. Before I begin, I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to the family, friends, and faculty that have supported us unwaveringly throughout this last chapter. As I prepared for this speech, I found it nearly impossible to select just one topic that has held the most importance to both myself and to this class. Woven throughout the past 4 years has been the perfect blend of meaningful victories, unanticipated challenges, and cherished celebrations. However, I have come to realize that it isn't a single one of these that defines who we are today, but the inevitable change that was sparked as a result of each. Change. It's a word with a wide variety of meanings and perceptions. The earliest significant change in our lives was the first day of kindergarten. Excitedly sitting at circle time, meeting friends who without us knowing would last a lifetime, learning which letter in Letterland was our letter, and looking at past 8th graders' marks on the wall, thinking that our turn was a lifetime away. Although our parents might not have been, you were ready for that change. Before we knew it, middle school marked the next one. A time of trying to fit in, discovering new skills, and no longer having to walk in a single file line. It came with struggles of its own, but once again, you were ready for that change. And finally, high school, the years we've been waiting for, anxiously running over your schedule before your first day, trying to learn the difference between an A day and a B day, and most importantly, reminding yourself that the building is in the shape of a W. You were ready for that change. But now, as we look towards an unwritten future, it's easy to not feel so ready. Soaking up all of the lasts, saying goodbye to our parents, closing the doors on our childhood bedrooms, and driving away from the streets that hold countless memories. How is an 18-year-old supposed to be ready for that? Well, in the words of one of my favorite childhood authors, Lemony Snicket, if we wait until we're ready, we'll be waiting for the rest of our lives. I am confident that you are ready because I have seen the ways in which each of you have grown from the changes of high school. Maybe you learned to surround yourself with people who inspire and uplift you. Or perhaps the things that once took up so much space in your freshman mind have faded into the background. Some of you have experienced heartbreak and used it as an opportunity to love deeper, and adversity as a chance to solidify your strengths. No matter what change you endured over these last 4 years, it was meant to happen to you, and you used it well. As we look into the future, I encourage you to continue to embrace that change, not hide from it. Pursue new opportunities, be forgiving of yourself, take setbacks as an invitation for growth, love without ceasing, and know that it is a blessing to have something that is worth missing. Thank you for pushing me to be who I am today. I am so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see where this next chapter takes each and every one of you. You are ready for this change because it is already a part of who you are. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025.
Jacoby Brennan Acosta. Joshua J. Adams. Ethan Earl Aldridge. Parker Dean Aldridge. Leonella Giselle Alvarez. Ramel Emilio Argueta Sorto. Hatherley Winton Armfield. Jaden Grace Arnett. Hannah Grace Arrowwood. Hunter Dakota Alton. Garrett Kursman Bagley. Madison Gail Baird. Maggie Carolyn Barnes. Lily Addison Barnett. Savannah Kate Barnett. Abigail Lynn Barr. Julia Madison Bateman. Sophia Josephine Behrens Martinez. Kurt Albai Barmejo. Elizabeth Lee Bishop. Sophia Elizabeth Blaylock. Sade Carol Bowles. Madeline Issa Bowman. William Upson Bradbury. Sheridan Grace Brazier. Kaylin Ann Braswell. Whitley Grace Brinker. Samuel David Broman Folks. David Jeffrey Brooks. Alana Marie Brown. Johnny Mack Brown. McKinnon Joshua Brown. Matthew Allen Browning. Noah Cole Bruning. Luke Hoffman Bryan. Sadie Nell Buchanan. Cadence Brooke Burns. Kay Marion Campbell. Madison Rose Caporali. Hadley Gray Carpenter. Chase Herschel Joseph Colvey. Margaret Bell Cheeves. Quentin Garrett Church. Maximus Anthony Ciani. Alexis Ann Clark. Caleb Malachi Clark. Kaylin Harper Clay. Azmin Josue Danilo Coche. Caden Grace Coffey. Cassidy Amy Coffey. Joshua Louis Valerio Ano Colburn. Summerlin Brooke Cole. Ryan Scott Collier. Natalie Anne-Marie Combs. Giada Malone Cook. John Thomas Lane Cook. Hannah Kate Copenhaver. Charlotte Grace Crees. Victoria Ann Critcher. Jacob Wade Crosswell. Nathaniel Liam Trent Cummings. Ava Harmony Curtis. Devin Jacob Kyler. Jack Solomon Danner. Sarah Caitlin Darner. Sienna Soleil Davidson. Elsie Grace Davis. Shannon Zoe Degauna Cruz. Layla Candelaria de Cuesta. Wyatt Daniel Dempster. Jonah Graham DeShields. Luca Alexander De Vera. Caleb Reed Dewey. Noah Cash Dishman. Oren Zane Dishman. Ava Grace Doty. Nicholas Daniel Doughton. Caden Leaf Douglas. Caden Matthew Duda. Austin Samuel Dye. Alexis Grace Edgerton. Samuel Luke Edmiston. Oren Taj Ellis. Naomi Escobar Jaramillo. Araceli Espinoza Mejia. Mason Margaret Farrington. Oliver Camp Ferris. Ariana Magdalene Fiddler. Callie Kendrick Finch. Nyan Rossin Finch. Natalie Brooke Fitch. Bridget Riley Flaherty. Hannah Lynn Fletcher. Olivia Calliope Flores. Morgan Kate Flint. Matthew Lynn Ford. Kyrie Grace Foskey. Logan Ruth Frierson. Alex Daniel Galan Aguilar. Andrea Galicia Salmaron. Jocelyn Galvez Mejia. Paula Renee Garcia Elias. Autumn Elizabeth Gardner. Isabel Grace Garrett. Kaylin Anna Marie Gaydon. Juna Rose Garsandi. Sutton Elizabeth Getty. Kagan Tavon Gibson. Alex Gil Hernandez. Malia Carly Reese Glenn. Anahi Gonzalez Larios. Charles Gary Goff. Mason Heath Gover. Trathan Scott Gragg. Alyssa Mary Graham. Sarah Elizabeth Green. Cadence Lorraine Green. Jordan Elizabeth Green. Maddox Ray Green. Madison Taylor Green. Margaret Ann Green. Noah Alex Green. Seth Moody Green. Connor Stephen Gregg. Alexander Michael Grammel. Jashina May Guerrero. Carson Levi Ganell Beck. Piper Ray Haas. Matthew Ryan Hobbick. Olivia Grace Hagler Tester. Aniston Cadence Hall. Cameron Irwin Hall. Michaela Kathleen Harrison. Eli Hollis Hartley. Bryson Ray Hawkins. Haynes Alexander Heastend. Abigail Elizabeth Hemp. Chloe Nicole Hemsoth. Isaac Wilson Hensley. Gabriel Hernandez Arias. Lola Grace Herring. Grayson Claire Hyatt. Anthony Jackson Hicks. Caleb J. Hicks. Jacob Hunter Hicks. Kyle Boyd Hicks. Maddie Rose Grace Hicks. Logan Kate Highfield. Chloe Alexis Hill. Andrew Paul Hodges. Mace Robert Hollers. Madeline Faye Hood. Claudia Augustine Hooker. Jackson Daniel Havancic. Brian Dylan Hudson. Dalton Allen Hudson. Ryder Kane Huff. Brittany Lynn Huggins. Jocelyn Ibarra Benitez. Jose Francisco Ibarra Primera. Joseph Bronson Eisenhower. Marin Grace Jackson. Charles Isaac Jennings. Ella Mast Jennings. Charlie Farah Johnson. Mylan Drake Johnson. Madeline Isabella Grace Kelly. Sawyer James Kennedy. Mason Lee Kidder. Tyler Benjamin King. Emily Elizabeth Kissinger. Zachary Ton Kowalczyk. Cleo Bryant Kolsick. Sean Thomas Lackey. Camp Gage Lancaster. Charles Hayden Langley. Gracie Madison Lawrence. Kara Joy Lawrence. Tressa Kathleen Latham. Ethan Grayson Lee. Carson Marshall Lee. Levi Walker Lemons. Jordan Carlos Lemus. Emma Cynthia Lewis. Peyton Hillary Lewis. Mia Grace Gibre. Jason Brian Lopez Galicia. Samuel Christian Lucas. Mia Renee Luffman. Matthew Manuel Luviano. Bethany Marie Main. Kimberly Odalis Marquez Reyna. Chloe Elizabeth Marsh. James Quinlan Marsh. Madison Lee Mast. Julie Lane Matheson. Katie Jo Matheson. Henry Eston Matthews. Tyler Ray May. Casey Egan McGuire. John Thomas McKeithen. Kira Kaylin McKibben. Alyssa Madison Mejia. Patrick Noah Mellon. Mike David Minshew Yax. Coco Ciel Mente. Carson Reed Michael. Patience Yvette Michael. Chance Allen Miller. Madison Elizabeth Miller. Ray Cicero Miller. Sarah Kate Miller. Gabriela Vianney Miranda Lopez. Barrett Alexander Mizell. Juliana Ruth Moretz. James Ashton Morgan. Casimiris Echo Morrison. Laurel Agnes Mortensen. Gary Thomas Moss III. William Bennett Munson. Larissa Rose Muse. Lucille Reed Neal. Tallis Ann Newsom. Ethan Charles Norris. Jonah Riley Norris. Georgia Bain Northern. Samuel Lindy Nystrom. Olivia Akubo Piviane. Aiden Lila Olson. Cadence Lee Otero. Riker Sully Otto. Adelaide Grace Pardue. Addison Brianne Lee Parker. Zachary James Parsons. Elizabeth Reed Pierce. Joseph Zane Peggs. Liam Gabriel Perry. Abigail Catherine Pitts. Mia Louise Platt. Michael Clarence Cole Pope. Noah Alden Potter. Madeline Grace Powell. Emily K. Presnell. Haley Jade Presnell. Kenneth James Presnell. Santino Roberto Pulis. Abigail Hope Pulliam. Michael Jean Kiran Quigley. Zachary Ryan Rotz. Josiah Gunnar Rayleigh. Lorelei Ramos. Savannah Marie Rollins. Teresa Grace Ruley. Samuel Allen Rex. Mary Catherine Lisa Riddle. Callan Ray Reardon. Haley Roberts. Gavin Seth Robertson. Juan Alicio Rodriguez Ruiz. Asbury Martin Ross. Joseph Thomas Rowan. Kurt Zael Royal. Jose Manuel Ruiz Moreno. Jesus Ruiz Gantes. Ethan Charles Rusher. Faith Jaden Sales. Giovanni Salinas Escobar. Kimberly Salinas Santos. Urbano Sanchez Hilario. Jorge Sandoval Rodriguez. Kara Beth Schneider. Hunter Frizel Scruggs. Kate Caroline Sears. Maria Daniela Serrano Marquina. Curtis Robert Savinsky. Lily Morgan Shepard. Wyatt Coleman Sibley. Jose Sebastian Silva de la Torre. Rebecca Ann Sims. Corbin Marcus Slagle. Adelaide Grace Smith. Carson Thomas Smith. Elijah Brennan Smith. Ethan Nathaniel Smith. Evangeline Deja Smith. Julia Maxine Smith. Landon Charles Smith. Lillian Delaney Smith. Sarah Elizabeth Smith. Lucy Kimbrell Suchek. Matthew Thomas Sterling. Maggie Caroline Stevens. Annabelle Felice Stewart. Jaden Michaela Sturton. Olivia Lynn Sturgill. Lindsay Ann Sturgill. Brody Christopher Yance Suko. Ryder Wilson Tate Sullivan. Beckett Ridgway Somerville. Preben Dominador Spitzer. Grace Elizabeth Tashny. Rowan Joseph Tate. Cody Raymond Talton. Mackenzie Sage Taylor. Montgomery Kate Taylor. Paul Edwin Taylor. Alton Douglas Tester. James Theodore Thomas. Grace Alexander Tillery. Owen River Tencher. Hunter James Tipton. Sean Colin Tressler Hogan. Madeline Bailey Trexler. Sullivan Blaylock Trexler. Dominic James Trez. Ethan Thomas Trivet. Nicholas Gage Turnmeyer. Michael Alejandro Vasquez Diaz. Miguel Angel Vasquez Minshew. Stella Grace Vernon. Shaylin Nicole Walker. Emma Catherine Wampler. Brian Samuel Ward. Lacey Estelle Ward. Riley Elizabeth Ward. Amber Nicole Watson. Benjamin Stephen Watson. Denise Caroline Watson. Elizabeth Dawn Watson. Holden Andrew Watson. Reese Kinley Watson. Alden Dean Watts. Luke Graham Watts. Genevieve Lixing Hua. Malcolm Russell Webb. Naomi Elizabeth Wellenstein. Jacqueline Gray White. Brogan David Williamson. Chloe Moon Wilson. Jack Wilson. Hadley McKay Windish. Anna Tequila Weinbarger. Trinity Rose Witt. Julian Xavier Wooldridge. Dylan Blake Zaragoza. Jonah Kuritan Zeruka.
Let's take one more moment and give the class of 2025 a round of applause. Seniors, you are truly exceptional, and congratulations on your hard work paying off. At this time, seniors, please stand. Graduating class of 2025, I ask you to move your tassels from the right to the left. Family, friends, and faculty, it is with great pleasure that I present the Watauga High School and Innovation Academy class of 2025. In a moment, our junior marshals will take our senior and escort them out. I ask you please stand and remain standing until all seniors have exited the arena. Have a great evening and go Pioneers!